Hotel room, hanging out with Phil Savage, VIP sideline passes for practices. It's everything a draftnik could dream of. Prove you're the number one draftnik. Come play at playthedraft.seniorbowl.com. My name is Alex Dunlap. I'm here tonight with Sigmund Bloom, and I have Sigmund Bloom on from Football Guys because in my portfolio at Play the Draft, Calvin Pryor right now is trading as the number 19 player overall. In the last day, he's made me $7,100. I'm here to ask Sigmund Bloom because I want my money and Play the Draft working for me. What do you think? Calvin Pryor at 19, before we even get to that, before we get to the slotting, the position of it, just give us your book on Calvin Pryor.
Sure.
What do you think of him as a prospect?
I think he's a bit overrated only because he has to have a very specific role to succeed in the NFL. And I think that he is the kind of player that tends to be overrated because his good qualities pop when you watch him. His closing speed, his hitting ability, his intimidation, his major impact against the run, and also he's got terrific ball skills, great hands, and he knows what to do with the ball once he makes the interception. These are all things that may remind you of a Cam Chancellor type of player, but Cam Chancellor has Earl Thomas. And while Calvin Pryor might theoretically have the range to play a center field, a free safety position, he will be exposed, and he will be exposed frequently in the NFL if he is left in the deep zone. He plays in straight lines and basically in forward straight lines. He does not play side to side. He does not play backwards. And he does not really have instincts to diagnose plays or to anticipate throws and routes. And he also can basically be manipulated by pump fakes, by receivers going through his zone very easily. He can be taken out of position very easily. You see a ton of completions against him in front of him usually. He is not a player that you want as your last line of defense. He's also over-aggressive. He takes poor angles sometimes. He overruns plays. And plays with patient runners, he can be taken out of the play with just a little bit of a stutter step, a little bit of a change of direction. He does not react well. He plays in straight lines. He sees a target, and he blows up a target, so you have to keep him in a very shallow zone, let him jump on everything that comes through his zone, let him come towards the line of scrimmage. But that means you must have a deep safety. It doesn't necessarily have to be Earl Thomas or Jarris Byrd, but it has to be somebody who can be that last line of defense, because that is not where you want him. Now, I think when you take a first rounder, these have to be players that increase your roster flexibility, that increase your ability to do things, as opposed to players that you have to compensate for. Now, all those things aside, putting this in terms of will he go that high in the draft, I think it's certainly possible. So we can get more into the reasons for that, but I do think that Pryor as a player has serious flaws, and if a team that takes him thinks that they can leave him out on an island, I think that that's going to have quarterbacks licking their chops.
And so he's trading right now at number 19 overall. Well, here I look. I do own him. I do have a big red button here that says sell. What Sigmund Bloom is telling me is that Calvin Pryor does not bring his team any positional versatility, and that possibly his stock could be overinflated right now. I am getting him off of my roster. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to buy Jake Matthews instead.